You were listening to Wait a Minute with Beth and Jessica.
Episode 57. I'm Jessica Pearson, certified life coach.
And I'm Beth Barnett-Babel, integrative nutrition therapist. So we keep our eyes peeled for things in the media or in real life that come from diet culture or that perpetuate diet culture in some way. These are often subtle ways it creeps in, which is why we are shining a light and sharing it with you.
This whole episode is basically one big segment. So we both traveled over the last month or 3 weeks, and we thought we would share some of our food diet culture finds. And then after we do that, we have a experiment. It's going to be super fun. We're sharing it with you, and after you watch it, you can always come back and participate if you like as well. So welcome home, Beth.
Well, really, welcome home to you. I was just in and out, and you were like gone the whole time. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was the longest time I've ever been away from life ever, I think, was 3 weeks. Even as a kid, doing like summer camp was only 2 weeks. So this was a big deal. And I'm glad to be home.
Nice.
Because life on the road is not for the weak.
No, not at all. Yeah, because you didn't stay in the same place for 3 weeks. You were moving around the state.
Yeah, we drove. So we went through Texas. That takes like 2 days, especially with a toddler.
Yeah.
And then we went through New Mexico, did a little Santa Fe stop, and then went all around Colorado. And the longest stop we had was 4 nights.
Whoa.
And everything else was like 3, 2, even a couple ones. So just popping in and out between friends' houses and hotels. We were lucky at one point we got to stay in like a mini apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that don't know, my husband's a musician and he had booked some shows. So we kind of went on a mini family tour and then we built in vacation time with it. So that's why we took our sweet time. But when he was playing at this one venue, which if y'all have not been to Buena Vista, Colorado, I mean, I feel like I shouldn't talk about it because it's so cute. I don't want to like overrun the place. I don't think I'm the first to discover it. It has been, a hot spot for a while, but it is really cute. It's a little bit off the beaten path. So my husband played there and they put us up above the venue. So we had this really cute loft that was this like very cool modern apartment. It was in a building, a brick building from the 1800s.
Oh, cool.
So it was really cool, but it was all redone. And there's a lot of iron work in that town, like just metal work in that venue and all around town. And I asked the manager, is there just like a person that does all of the ironwork in this town? And he said, yeah, it's just like a couple. And they do so much of the art and all of the metalwork all around town. So it's kind of cool how there's like this uniform metal vibe going on. Yeah. It's just like a really cute mountain town. Highly recommend. So we had a good time, but yes, we ate a lot out and we were lucky to be able to have kitchens to be able to cook some meals home. But everybody knows when you're on vacation, it's more challenging to navigate because you're out of your normal routines. If you don't have a kitchen, that's extra challenging. And then there's just the temptation of it all, just being like, oh, we're on vacation. And a lot of people go into kind of F it mode. But as you and I have learned, and as we talk about and teach, is that I don't like coming home from vacation and feeling terrible or that I have to like overcorrect myself or do something crazy to make myself feel better. I want to arrive feeling myself when I get home to the best of my abilities. I mean, of course, it's not the exact same, but trying to focus on getting vegetables in when I can and not necessarily having dessert every single day because we're on vacation, that kind of stuff. I want to talk more about food, but tell me what you did. Tell us what you did.
I went and took our daughter to camp. We dropped her off in North Carolina. And then from there, we're supposed to seamlessly drop her off and then drive to the airport and take off and go to Mallorca, Spain for a destination wedding. But as the airline industry is making record profits, their ability to take off on time is declining, it seems. It's like I am so frustrated by it. But anyway, so this airplane sat there at the gate. I think it landed from another place at noon. And then when they finally did all the checks for our flight, at 4ish, they realized the air conditioning wasn't working. And so they kept delaying it, taking it. They didn't take it to the hangar until it was time for us to board our flight. And I'm like, well, what was it doing those other 4 hours that it was sitting there? So they eventually told us tomorrow morning, like around 9 p.m., they finally said, okay, it's time for you. We're not going to do this flight until tomorrow. And so we left. And then as we were going to bed, it said canceled. So my husband then looked for us flights to go home. I woke up and apparently they had just found us a new plane and reissued a flight number. So I woke up and he's like, we're still going. I was like, okay. So we hung out all day and our flight was like really late that night. We didn't end up taking off until 1 a.m. My eyeballs were like burning. This like plane that had nobody on except for pilots came in. Everybody in the terminal was like clapping and cheering because we'd all been waiting for like over a day to go.
Yeah, and it's not like you're going to Columbus, Ohio. You're going to Mallorca, Spain. Like, you're excited for this adventure. Everybody just wants to get there.
Yeah. Well, we were going to
No offense to Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, no offense. Well, it was going to Madrid. This flight was going to Madrid. So we did that. And yeah, so it was quite the adventure. So we went to Mallorca and saw an island in the Mediterranean and did all the wedding activities, which were beautiful. And we walked and we found all these beaches and we ate some delicious food. And I got on like the whole European culture thing and we ate dinner at midnight every night.
How did you sleep doing that? Fine.
Well, because you got to walk home after that. So they weren't heavy meals.
Yeah.
I guess not every night, but most of the nights we ate really late. And so, I don't know, we just like didn't eat super heavy. We ate just enough. And then you have to walk home at least. We had to walk home like 15 minutes. So that solved that problem. And then, you know.
What do people with children do?
Well, I have to say that I don't know about mainland Spain, but most of the people were out having dinner between like 8 and 11. So they're probably there.
In the earlier side of things.
Yeah. So in the more islandy like experience, it was not as late as probably like Barcelona and Madrid and stuff. But I don't know. I've never been to those places just from what other people have told me. Yeah. So anyways, it was good. And I got to like see, like, it was just fun to take in all the food types and amounts and normal, like what's normal, what's not normal. And we went to like this place that was very farm to table and it was beautiful on our first night and it was beautiful. The menu didn't make any sense. And so
it was bark themed?
That was just the dessert. The dessert was pine themed.
I thought I saw pine somewhere else on the menu, and I was like, "This is interesting."
There might have been. I don't know. I'd have to go look at the picture. But it was all very fancy and very interesting, which I haven't had a meal like that in a really long time. And we were there for 4 hours.
Nice.
I was like, oh
did that feel nice, or were you like kind of getting
butt started to hurt. I was like, you know, just kind of was like, all right.
Was it just you and Bill? Did y'all have enough to talk about?
That's a good question. It was just the two of us. And, you know, I think that like after traveling for 48 hours, there were some quiet moments, but not awkward or anything like that. But I do have that fear of being like the couple in the restaurant where they are literally just not talking to each other or really much acknowledging each other. And then they both decide to just get on their phone. Yeah. So that is like a fear of mine.
Try not to get on the phone. Like I'd rather have silence.
Yeah. So if we get on the phone, it's because somebody has thought of something interesting and we need to confirm via the Googler.
Yes, we got to look it up.
Yeah, we got to look it up.
So I was just thinking about when you and I went out to eat, how we love to eavesdrop.
Oh, yeah, it's my
And like, if you ever see Beth and I out eating together, we're listening to her conversation.
Yeah, it's something that I don't want to, but because of the way my brain works, I can both
it's an ADD thing.
Yeah, I can both listen to you and to another conversation at the same time. And I will then give you the rundown on what's happening over there. And Bill does not love it. He does not love it. At this point, 20 years, he's used to it
Yeah, he's
now.
like, what's going on over there? Tell me what's at that table.
Yeah. So, anyways, and sometimes he'll be like, what's happening over there? They seem so interested. I'm like, and every once in a while, I'm like, well, I don't know. I've actually just like have been able to like turn it off. And he's like, oh, bummer. Cause he's like, their body language is. So every once in a while, he's kind of curious, like what, or he's like convinced that I know what's going on over there because of that. So, anyways, that is a long-winded. Wow,
That was
that
a
was
fun tangent.
long-winded.
Okay, so you had told me that you came across some fun things. It's interesting. I feel like it's all sugar related.
Yeah,
So tell us about sugar in Europe.
yeah. So sugar in Europe was fun. So there's a lot of it. Not gonna lie, but what I noticed is that everything is smaller. So I had the cutest little donut. I'm not normally like a we popped into this one little cafe place because it was raining. It was like one of those quick rains that was coming through and we were at the beach. So we popped into this quick little cafe and I got some espresso and I'm not normally like a spur of the moment kind of dessert person to purchase, but these donuts were so cute. I mean, so adorable and fluffy. I was like, that doesn't look like a normal donut. And I've been very disappointed by donuts lately. So I was like, I gotta like,
Well, and our favorite donut spot is closing or it's already closed.
which one? Oh,
The
yeah.
little chocolate donuts from
Yeah, Mr. Natural.
Mr.
But they have the
Natural.
one, we would just have to work harder to get to the one that's still
Oh,
going to
the
be
east one's
open.
still staying
The
open.
east
Okay,
one is
good.
still staying open. So we just got to work harder to go get it.
Hmm.
So anyway, it was delicious and it almost looked like a croissant on the inside. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And then I went to a supermarket to pick up some things to have, like get some sandwiches for this other beach adventure day that we had. And I saw these M&Ms at the checkout and I was like taken aback because they were the old size. Like, I don't know if you remember what the packaging looked like in like the
In middle
80s
school,
or 90s. It was just like a much more smaller
like a
package.
single serving.
Yes.
But
So
not
that
but you
was really
said
cool.
not Halloween fun sized.
Not
It's
Halloween fun size,
a
but
little bit
like,
bigger.
yeah. So, anyways, that was fun. And then the most delicious thing that I had, you will die, is that on our flight back, we did a layover in London so we could take British Airways direct back into Austin. And they had these cookies that came with the tea or the coffee, and they were delicious. It was like a shortbread sugar cookie type thing. And I was just, as I do, I was just looked at the ingredients. I was like, oh, I wonder what these are. But they were delicious. So I was like, was already eating them before I decided to
Right.
look at
You
the
weren't going to
ingredients.
change your mind. You just
No,
were
I wasn't
curious.
going to change my mind. I was just curious. Was floored to find that it had flour, sugar, butter, salt. That was it.
Yeah.
Didn't have 700 other ingredients of dough conditioners and this and that and the other. It was just the basic things in a package. And I was like, oh, it was Irish butter. And then it was produced in the UK. And I was like, if this would have been made in the US, it would have been like 1,000 other things. I'm like, why can't
Yeah.
we do that?
I feel like the argument is about shelf life, but surely that's a lie. Or maybe it's okay to have a shorter shelf life.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, so I was so excited. So it was a 10-hour flight. So I had two little packets of them because I had one at the beginning and one
Wait,
before.
and then your flight attendant offered you some and then you said no, which I don't know why you didn't accept some to go.
Well, because
I would have liked to eat those.
well, no. Oh, yeah. Well, because the way that they were, I was afraid that they were gonna like crumble and
Crunch. Oh,
turn
yeah.
into like once they got into my bag, I
Yeah. Not
was like, I
travelable.
wasn't feeling good about how they were gonna like
Yeah.
make it
That's
through.
fair.
Make it through re-entry back into the US. And so I didn't want to be responsible for that, but I took a picture so we can try to order some. That's what I really did was I took a picture
Did
so
you
I
watch
could order
Ted
some.
Lasso?
Yes.
I was just thinking of the shortbread.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
I have the final episode to watch tonight, so
oh,
no
oh.
spoilers. Because I really wanted to like wait as long as possible because I love the show so much. I didn't want to
You don't want it
finish
to
it too
end.
early. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
really spread it out, and I'm devastated. I almost cried last night knowing that tonight is going to be the last episode.
Which, like, everyone listening that watched Ted Lasso finished it months ago. So,
Oh, of course. And I'm okay with that. I normally did because I was waiting and waiting for it to come out, and it was killing me. And then when I finally came out, I was like, I'm not ready.
yeah, no, good for you
So
for
I've been watching
savoring.
it very slowly.
Delayed gratification with TV is a challenge. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I didn't really like, I feel lucky that because I had my toddler with me, I didn't get as much phone time. My screen time was dramatically down because my phone is now
Bravo.
telling me that my screen time is dramatically up since returning home. And then also my phone is telling me how my movement has gone down in the last week. Cause for the 3 weeks we were on the road, there was so much movement.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Same.
thanks phone. What you're telling me is my day-to-day life probably needs a swap.
Yeah.
But I also don't carry my phone when I move as much when I'm at home.
Right.
Like I'll go work out, but I'm not like holding my phone the way I would just be walking around town holding a phone. So it's a little
Right.
different. So yeah, I was kind of disconnected. I haven't like my algorithm kind of chilled out on the diet ads. But the only thing I think that I sent you was the True Height gummy because it was like eat this
Yeah.
gummy and get taller, and I was like, what
What?
are
I
we
know.
doing?
Yeah.
I was like, is this marketed towards children or adults? And like, why would I give my child? I don't know.
Yeah, for ages 5 to 24, and it helps kids grow. And there's a little asterisk on it, of course, because that you can't make that claim because that's ridiculous. Yeah. So, anyways, it has some vitamin D, but not an excessive amount. A little bit of vitamin K, but it doesn't say what kind, if it's K2 or K1, because that does actually matter because K1 does work in the blood versus K2 works in the bone. There's some calcium, it's not even that great of a form, and some sodium, but it also, this is like what became strange for me, is that it also has ashwagandha, which is not to say that that's bad, but I'll explain why in a second what their reasoning was. Spirulina, L-arginine, that's really more like skin, glutamine, and astragalus root extract. And so when they say how it works, the ashwagandha helps manage the stress hormone cortisol and reduces symptoms of stress. A leading cause of stunted growth is due to stress, which is why improving resistance to stress is so important for growth. And I'm like, what? Like, maybe we should not be stressing our kids out so much. So, anyways, I was a little bit saddened by that. So, this is a slightly disturbing product for me. I'm not saying it's bad, but
yeah, I was just
there's
like, let's just skip it.
capsules and gummies, and the gummies do have 4 grams of sugar in it, which is a teaspoon of sugar per gummy.
I just thought it was interesting because we're not picking on weight, but we're picking on height. And if anything, height is really not something you get to determine. So it's just like, oh.
Yeah, I guess they're assuming what is this? The scoop has more nutrients than the gummy does.
Or
So
just
there's like
take
a
a regular
powder.
vitamin.
The powder has some more vitamins in it. Some more B vitamins, folate, B12, all the good normal things. It has it actually has some magnesium in it. But if you're dairy sensitive, you would not be able to take this product because the magnesium has a milk protein concentrate in it. Which is this, but overall, not the work. Like
the actual product, the ingredients are not terrible, but the marketing is weird.
Well, for the scoop one, the protein shake vanilla versus like the gummies. I don't love the gummy situation because, yeah, it's got a teaspoon of sugar in it. Like,
yeah,
it's weird. So yeah,
yeah. So
don't
anyway,
love it.
I'm
I
glad
think
to
it's
be
weird.
home.
Good.
I
Me
missed
too.
Mexican food. That is truly probably, when I lived in Colorado, I know they have Mexican food, but it's not the same.
No. Well,
That was
for me, it's
maybe,
breakfast tacos.
yeah, they don't exist there really.
No.
Although they did get a Torchy's, but Torchy's is not like my favorite of the breakfast taco situations. But
Yeah.
I did not get Torchy's in Denver. We were only in Denver for 24 hours. So I really didn't cross a breakfast taco in my travels. So when I got home, I felt like the first couple of days I just was on an all Mexican food plan.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to eat, which I can't wait for you to like go live in Japan and then not get Mexican food and report back. That was
Yeah,
like
it's
the
gonna
top
be
3
tough.
reason why I moved back from Colorado when I went to
Was
school in Colorado.
because of Mexican
Yeah, I
food?
just like missed it. It was
It's amazing.
top 3 I would rank it for sure. I mean, maybe not, but it just I'm so glad to have it.
Yeah.
We have a fun experiment for you guys. And so this came out because last week after our travels, Beth came back and she posted about a soda that she thought was so delicious, which actually was this Olipop grape flavor.
So good.
She did a story on it and she's like, this just brings me back to childhood. It tastes so good. The, ingredients and nutrition facts, which we're going to talk about in a minute, like lined up. She's like, I would recommend this. So I went and got one. I couldn't find the grape initially. I got the orange one and I got a couple different flavors. So I had 3 of them over the course of 5 days. And it was
I
so
now
funny.
have had similar other flavors too. Yeah, I got the grape and my son got the tropical fruit punch or something like that. I don't know.
Which
it
was
also
okay.
tastes, yeah, it was okay. But I was like, I've definitely had this beverage before, but I couldn't place exactly what it was. Whereas that one, the grape one that you just showed, is for sure a Welch's grape soda. And I was like,
Yeah.
so amazing.
Yeah, I loved the orange one. And so I'm
going to try the orange one today.
Yeah, we're going to taste them today with you guys. So
yeah,
if I do have a soda, it's a regular soda. So my dose on those is pretty low. Like, I don't know, one a month, 2 a month tops, So it's like I'm not really drinking a lot of soda. So for me to have like 3 sodas in a week felt like an exciting time.
Yeah.
But what I noticed, I was like, I am pooping. Like I was like, Beth, because we text about poop a lot.
Yeah. It's true.
I'm like, we talk about poop a lot with each other. So I was like, I have been pooping like 3 times.
Yeah, because I was having the opposite issue. For some reason, post vacation, I came home and was unable to. Yeah. And I was dying. And you're like, well, not having that issue. I'm having the opposite problem.
Yeah, I was like on a full cleanse, just pooping 3 times a day. And I thought about it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm regular. I'm normally very regular. So it's not like, crazy that I'm pooping, but to poop 3 times a day is a lot for me.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, this soda has 9 grams of fiber in it. Mm-hmm. Is this tipping? Is this what's tipping me over the edge? And then I was like thinking, oh my gosh, am I not getting enough fiber? Like, should I be...
Right, because when I posted about it, this said it's for supporting your digestive immune health, and I was like, well, I'm not really going to kid myself that I'm going to be using this as like as a significant fiber source, but maybe for some,
yeah, it's better than nothing. So we set out. We're like, you know what? We need to do an experiment. Because I also asked Beth, I was like, am I just drinking fancy Metamucil? Like, what's happening to me right now? And so we're like, you know what? Let's do an experiment. There's another soda brand called Poppi that also promotes itself as being a prebiotic. We're going to go through all of these. And then we're talking just about Metamucil, which neither one of us went out and bought or are trying.
I thought about it. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to be stuck with it.
Yeah. So first, tell us your story about the nutrition labels. Like when you were explaining the nutrition math to a stranger.
Oh, yeah. So I originally found the grape at Whole Foods, and then I didn't want to drive all the way to the Whole Foods the other night. I was too tired. So I went to Sprouts and I was like, they have interesting things. Let me hope for the best. So they did. At first, I only found the Poppi. And then I went over to this other section, and that's where I found all of them. I found the Olipop and the Poppi, and then the kombucha drinks and yada, yada, yada. So, and there was another lady there that was looking at both and reading the labels, and you could tell she was kind of trying to make sense of it. And I was reading the labels, and I normally try to avoid conversation with strangers. It is not my forte, but I was like, oh, I feel like this might be needed. So I was like, oh, have you tried these? They're so good. She was like, yes, but I'm trying to find something that's like lower in sugar. And she was like, the Olipops say that they have 15 grams of carb, whereas the Poppi has 7. And I was like, yeah, I know, but if you look at them, so I did nutrition counseling in the middle of the sprouts. So I was like, but if you look at them, it says total carbs is 15, but the Olipop, the fiber is 9 grams and the sugar is 5. And I was like, so they subtract out from the total carbs the dietary fiber, and then what you're left with is actually the sugar. That's the impact it will have on your blood sugar. I was like, versus the Poppi, you will see has 7 grams of carbohydrates, but only 2 grams of fiber and 5 grams of sugar. So, therefore, because it has less fiber in it, you're more likely to have a blood sugar spike.
You don't have your monitor in, do you? You
No,
didn't
I
get to
thought
test
about
it.
putting it in. I have some, and I thought about putting one in, and then I didn't. And because I was going to be in the water all
Maybe
weekend
we'll
and I
do a
didn't want to mess
follow
with
up.
it. Yeah, maybe I'll do a follow up. And so, anyways, so the difference is that there is significantly more fiber in the Olipop versus the Poppi because it only has 2 grams of fiber for the whole can versus the other brand, which has 9 grams. And so the other thing that I noticed was is that they both start with carbonated water, sparkling water, and then the second ingredient in the Olipop is their fiber mix,
Yeah, all
which
is
has
smart.
Ollie Smart, which has Kosovo root flour, chicory root, inulin, Jerusalem artichoke inulin, Nepal cactus, and marshmallow root, and is that an O?
Calendula.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that an A or an O? Flour and kudzu root. So, and then it has lemon juice, apple juice, mandarin juice, Kosovo root syrup, clementine juice, rosehip,
A
cherry,
hint of
stevia leaf,
stevia,
and a
which
hint of stevia.
I typically hate stevia, but
Me too.
I can taste it, but it's just enough. I
Yeah,
think they found the magic threshold of
they
stevia.
did. I think they found. Bill thought that the root beer one had too much of a stevia taste, but
Yeah, I
I
would agree.
disagreed. But versus like the Poppi has sparkling water, then cane sugar, orange
Mhm.
juice, apple cider vinegar, which on their website they have apple cider vinegar, the tablespoon that's in there to have all sorts of potential health benefits. Then it's the agave inulin and then natural flavors, lemon juice, stevia. So if I
So
was
they're similar, but I actually like that the Olipop doesn't have cane sugar, even though we know these sugars are still sugar.
Yeah, correct. What I noticed in when I was looking at all the different flavors that I could find in the store, I did not go to the website to see because I tried the lemon ginger one because that is a good combo flavor that I like very much, and it had less juice, and so therefore its total carb and sugars were less because it had less juice in it.
Yeah.
But it was minimal. It was like 8% juice versus like 13% juice. So the sugar content is going to vary because of the fruit juice that they use.
Yeah.
I was disappointed I didn't love the lemon ginger, but of the other flavors, I've liked all the other ones. The vintage cola is not a Coke flavor, it's more like a Pepsi Tab
Oh.
combo.
Maybe if you're
Like,
a Diet Coke fan, that would be a good swap out to try.
yeah, it was definitely not Coke, like Coca-Cola. It was definitely like another flavor of Coke that I have of cola that I have not had in decades. And I was
Mm.
like, I know this flavor, and I think it's a combo of 2 flavors of old school sodas. But I was like, oh, I think it
Mm.
might be those. So
Yeah. So before we move on to fiber, because I do want to talk a little bit more about that in comparison, but can you tell us what a prebiotic is?
yeah, prebiotic is a type of fiber that helps to. So, a probiotic is, the bacteria, the actual live bacteria source that goes to your gut and does all the things. A prebiotic is the food source that the bacteria use in order to feed themselves and to multiply and create all of the benefits that the probiotics do for us. So, this is kind of like their fuel source.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Awesome. Thank you.
fiber from all food types is the food source for our microbiome.
Yeah. Okay, so just to talk a little bit about the fiber, because I was like, is this Metamucil?
There you go.
Mucimetal.
Blah, blah, blah.
Is it Metamucil? So I looked up like a serving of Metamucil is 2.4 grams of fiber. And this
That's
is,
it.
yeah.
It like tablespoon or which product? Because I saw that their products have expanded some.
I think it was, that was just like the old school, like you
like
put
the
a scoop.
little,
Yeah, you put a
scoop
powder.
in.
Yeah,
It's not very much.
No.
Because in order to make like a sizable difference, like you would need at minimum 2 scoops, but that multiple times, like twice a day.
Yeah.
The way that I know that people use, like, 1 scoop a day is not really going to do much of anything.
I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not. I don't want to drink Metamucil. It sounds disgusting. I feel like I had it as a kid once because I don't know why. You're around some adult aunt, uncle that like drank it. And I don't know. I tasted it.
I don't think
it is tasteless, but it just felt old and gross to me as a kid. So I'm not into it. But you know what? Maybe Metamucil is going to come out with some kind of hip new product.
I mean, you never know. I know some of my clients do psyllium husk in their beverages. I own psyllium husk capsules. So the thing is to be aware about all these things is you have to make sure that you aren't as you increase your fiber from food or fiber sources, you have to increase your water, because if not, you become constipated. So you need the water and the fiber to combine so they can kind of create like that gel type situation and move on down the line. So it has to have water to be able to move. If not, it just kind of gets gunked up in there and then you feel bloated and constipated.
Yeah. And I also just wanted to add a note. So 9 grams of fiber would be like eating 4 cups of broccoli. But is an Olipop soda like eating 4 cups of broccoli?
Because broccoli is going to have more of the insoluble fibers versus soluble fibers. So these sodas are insoluble fibers, which are...
I thought they were soluble.
I mean, these are soluble fibers, whereas like vegetables and some of our like grain products are going to contain insoluble fibers as well. Right. Our body likes to have both. So it's not good or bad to have one or the other. Like mixed foods will provide us with insoluble and soluble fiber.
Yeah. I think like
our body does stuff
corn.
With both.
Corn is insoluble.
100% insoluble.
So it's like, does it dissolve? Soluble. Does it not dissolve? Insoluble is how I think of that. So yeah, you want both. And obviously, I mean, I don't know. It's very rare that I would sit down and eat and chew 4 cups of broccoli. But yeah, so we're not using these to substitute or always be vegging, right? We still got to eat vegetables, please.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So we're going to taste these.
I know, because I haven't had the orange yet. I've only had root beer. I had vintage cola. I had a few sips of lemon ginger. And then I had originally what started it off, which was grape. So far, grape is my favorite, followed by root beer. And then the other two, not terrible, but not my faves. So
I'm excited for you to try the Poppi because it has the apple cider vinegar in there. So I'm wondering if that alters the taste.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, what
are we doing first?
Well, you also have the Olipop, so let's try it together.
I have the grape Olipop. We should open them one at a time. Let's do an ASMR.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was so satisfying. I'm not... Yes. You know what's so funny is that I also read an article about how we got... this past weekend about how we got Pop Tops.
Oh.
And like this kind. Yeah.
I just want to say we are not sponsored by
No,
Olipop,
not at all.
But Olipop wants to call us. You know where to find us. So.
All right, here we go.
Your cheers.
It. That is so good. Okay, so grape and orange for the win.
They are. I loved the orange when I tasted it, and the grape is so good. Why is it so good?
So what sounds crazy is that I don't know if you've had to experience this yet because your son is so young, but birthday parties are rife with juice boxes. And I
Yeah.
can't, I don't, I'm just like, oh my God. So even if you get like the Honest Kids, which costs like $1 million for all those kids because they can't just have one, it doesn't
Oh
matter.
yeah.
Anyways, I don't like them, but I would purchase these for a
For
kid's
kids.
party.
Yeah.
100%. Well, okay, so I've had several of these
Oh.
over the last several days, and I can tell you that I'm not having the same experience that Jessica's having with my bowel movements. I am experiencing something different, and I don't know quite how to describe it. It's almost like my body packages up little bits of the fiber things as little chunks instead of as a whole unit.
Gross.
Well, it's just as interesting. It's
It is
different.
interesting. It is different. What is that? Is the I was like, I wish we had the Bristol stool scale.
Yeah.
The one thing I kind of respect about the Olipop is they are making some health claims, but there's nothing about weight. It's just like, hey, this is a prebiotic. It supports your microbiome and digestive health. Finally, a refreshing soda that's actually good for you. And even that marketing, I'm like, really? Are you sure? But I kind of, after tasting it and experiencing it, I'm kind of on board, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm sold.
I really like it. Their website mostly talks all about digestive health, and that's pretty much it. Okay, are we ready to
Yeah, let's do the
try
Poppi.
Poppy? Okay. Have you had this one yet?
No, I didn't get one.
Oh, what's
Sorry. It's all you.
okay? Well, I got orange and orange, so we could compare
Mm.
orange and orange. All right, here we go. Another. Oh man, darn it, the little thing didn't go down very much. Okay, try not to cut myself as I push that thing down. Okay. Smells good. Okay, so the the aftertaste of the poppy, I can definitely.
Is there stevia in Poppi?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's sugar and apple cider vinegar.
What's the aftertaste that you're tasting?
Oh, what is that?
Is it the vinegar or is it something else?
So the orange is definitely not as strong as the other one. This one is almost like a souped up LaCroix type
Mm,
beverage,
okay.
especially compared to the Olipop. So it's not bad, but knowing what I know about how the other one tastes and that like really classic fruit flavored sodas that I used to drink as a kid, I would go for that over this particular
So for you,
flavor.
Olipop is the winner.
Yeah, for me personally. But if you wanted something less like
Soda-y.
soda-y type of flavor, this might
Poppi.
do the
Poppi might
trick.
be the
Except
winner.
for like I struggled for it to say prebiotic soda because it only has 2 grams in there versus the other one that has a lot more
Right. And it was
fiber in
also
it.
marketing that it's beneficial for promoting weight loss and all these other things, right?
Yeah, so it talks about, I think its main thing that they really are pushing on their website, the first thing they talk about is the apple cider vinegar that's in it. And so I guess their prebiotic is that they are having the apple cider vinegar as one of their other parts of the prebiotics because it contains the mother
Mm-hmm.
with, the polyphenols and prebiotics from pectin. So their main thing is mostly the apple cider vinegar because it can provide these benefits that can help refine your complexion, may aid in digestion, may help lower cholesterol, may help promote weight loss, and may help naturally detoxify, may help stabilize blood sugar. And it's all related to apple cider vinegar, everything that they
Mm-hmm.
put on there. So,
At the end of the day, a soda is not going to solve your problems. But if you're drinking regular soda or even diet soda, these are great options.
Yeah,
So
for sure. And now I can't wait to go try to find the strawberry vanilla because of the Olipop
yeah, somebody said it was amazing.
because that was the other we would drink strawberry and grape Welch's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
So, I
Yum.
mean, I
So
did have
good.
orange sodas for sure, but not as much as the other flavors. And I
Yeah.
would be willing to go and try the classic cola by Poppi. And they had a Doc Pop, which I'm assuming is a Dr. Pepper
Mm-hmm.
knockoff off. So I would be willing to go find those too.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
continue with the experiment. And if anybody has their own opinions, let us know. We'd
Yeah.
love to talk about it.
But yeah, I think that these are a good option if like you are struggling with blood sugar issues, but you are wanting something that has that same satisfaction because a LaCroix or any of the sparkling waters really just don't they don't hit the
No,
spot. And now I got to figure out what to do with these 2 cans of soda
you'll give them
because
to Miles.
everybody's at camp.
Oh, they're all at camp. The root beer one, I actually made a float.
Did you really? How was it?
It was amazing. It was so good. I mean, it's still ice cream. So I was like, maybe I could alternate with some other kind of thing, but it provided the same sensation of having a float. And it's like, okay, well, I'm already getting sugar from ice cream. Do I really need another 20 grams from a real soda? No. So it was a great option. I loved it.
Yeah.
And the thing about the root beer float was that I felt like it helped with that kind of stevia, like the sugar from the ice cream, like kind of canceled it out. So it didn't taste as diety to me. So,
Mm.
but yeah, I would just stick to the grape and the orange. These are phenomenal. So,
Yeah. We're big fans. So
I mean, tell me, how much did the Poppi cost? Because Olipops are not cheap. By the way.
no, I think they were around the same price. Truth be told, I have no idea.
I have no idea. Well, I think
No.
Olipop's like maybe $2.50 a can.
So a 12 pack of most of them are $30. Some of them are 25, but the watermelon is $40, $39.99 for a 12 pack of the root beer flavor of the Poppi.
So they're both about $2.50 a can on average.
So they're not cheap.
But that's good because it's not like I need to drink one every day.
Correct. Correct.
Just keep a couple in the fridge for the week or two and call it a day.
Yeah. And I will say, so people will be like, well, how much fiber am I supposed to have in a day?
Oh, yeah. Good.
So the bare minimum amount that we should be having is 25 grams of fiber a day. So from lots of different food sources, 25 grams. The average American gets 10 to 12 grams of fiber a day. And then when we were hunter and gatherers, we had anywhere from 75 to 100 plus grams of fiber a day.
Dang. So you're literally eating like roots and bark and stuff.
Yeah, making ice cream out of bark. Just kidding. Just kidding. Sorry, I had like that moment where I was
your pine.
Yeah. So get some fiber from all different types of sources. So if you we're still kind of coming along to liking a significant amount of vegetables in your day, and then you had like an Olipop every other day, but I would prefer you to get it.
They should pay you to get a registered dietitian promoting their product.
That's not what I'm going for here. But it's not just about the fiber. It's the interaction between the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals, the phytochemicals. Like all of it is doing something for our body. And so we can't just isolate out.
We can't live off supplements. We have to eat food.
Yeah, it's true. It is. It's totally true. So, because there's more to the food than its individual component that we try to extract out that's beneficial. And it will be really, really hard to really know that for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all go get your fiber on.
Okay.
I sure hope we gave you something new to think about today and helped you take one more step on your path to freeing yourself from diet culture. Please be sure to subscribe to this podcast and follow us on Instagram at path_nutrition. We would love to see you inside our interactive online course called Foundations. Go to pathnutrition.com/foundations to learn more and sign up today.
Bye everyone.